Interesting. That's Paula London. This is Claire Muldoon. And they've got stories in the papers that they want to talk about. What do you want to start with, Paula?
Well, I started with the migrants being stuck in hotels. I think I'll just continue with that story a bit. Basically, Yvette Cooper is saying now that she will clear the backlog, 90,000 claims in under 18 months. But the problem we have, as we all know, is the human rights lawyers. And they're making an absolute fortune because if they are denied, then they appeal, they appeal, they appeal. We need to stop these appeals because we, the taxpayers, are paying for them. And also, if they are languishing in hotels, apparently, for 18 months, I would hope that some might get a bit bored and then go back to France as well, because it's costing like £4 million a day. And, I mean, the whole problem is just everyone's annoyed by it, basically.
Well, they're accusing the government, the previous government, of having not done much in the build-up to the election. And we asked James Cleverly, because he was Foreign Secretary before the election, and he said that, look, all the figures were collated quarterly. This is carried on by the civil service whilst campaigning was going on.
And an extra 11,000 have come over since then. It's desperate, but this is a global thing. It's not just us that are faced with this. It's all over Europe geographically, all over Europe as a collective, and all over the world. America's got issues with immigration as well.
You can bet that if the Middle East, does escalate into a wider conflict, there will be even more.
There'll be further displacement.
So there's even more incentive for us to try and get a peaceful resolution there.
It should be easier because we're not in Europe, theoretically, but it's not.
So, Claire, what about Schofield? He's gone on, he's some
Do you know what?
desert island or whatever, and he was on the telly last night.
He was on the television last night. He'll be on tonight and indeed tomorrow as well. I watched it.
Did you? OK, great.
I watched it. Purely for the purpose of being able to talk about it today. And I think, you had Ruby Wax go into an island. You had Joanna Lumley go in as well. But you actually wanted to see how they would fare, OK? Ruby Wax has suffered from mental health issues. Joanna Lumley, you wouldn't think, could actually stifle anything other than a five-star hotel. But she made a pair of shoes out of her bra, etc. So I watched this and I thought I was keenly watching it because we were told by his daughter that she wanted everyone to see her father the way that they see him, meaning the way her and her sister and her mum view Schofield, because she thinks he's a great man. She says he's a great man. He's her dad. She is also his manager. So I watched with intent, and I watched, really wanting to know what happened. It was just more of the same. It was Phillip Schofield giving Phillip Schofield more airtime.
Did he manage to sneak a violin onto the island?
Fishing tackle, he went for walks. There were tears. It just seemed staged. We know he's there for 10 days. We know what he's up to. And I just think over the 3-hour segment, 3-hour show that we're going to witness, obviously, if you want to watch it. But I just think, it just smacks. It smacks of him being so entitled. This narcissism that's so apparent in his character.
But, dare I say, the public have a very short memory. People do make comebacks. That will be very much his intent, won't it?
Well, exactly.
And there is a chance that, he might well be back on daytime television at some point.
I don't think so at all. I think he should be so grateful that he's got away with what he did and not been punished more severely. And he's clearly so fame-hungry. He's in his mid-60s. I think he'd just go and spend his money with his daughter, have a great life, and that's it. I just don't know who he thinks he is, to be honest with you.
Although he wasn't, convicted of any crimes. He
not convicted,
his
but
relationship was ill-advised but not illegal.
Yes, but if it was like a male and a female, it would have been different.
Why is that even relevant?
Well, she said
he met the boy when he was 15. Right.
I don't know he hasn't been convicted of anything, Eamonn. It's a fact.
Pushing
with the facts. So I know he hasn't been convicted of any crimes, and you say he should be punished more severely if he does get convicted.
The public, and also I don't think a TV's Channel 5 should be giving him a show. Why should they? He's been rewarded for doing something terrible, I think, in most people's eyes, if they have young children.
There we go. Anyone else?
Sober October, this is. So there's always, every month there's January, there's February, we've now got October, where you have to be miserable about something. What do you make?
I preferred November, but that's November, isn't it? When
And that's about growing a tash.
Yeah,
you wouldn't want to do that,
I'm
sure.
just saying, why do we have to do sober October? But anyway. Oh, shut up. I'm just saying, I love these things that are... I dug myself a hole there, didn't I?
Eamonn, stop
Moving
it.
on.
Right, cheers to a sober October. No, thank you. What is the point of drinking alcohol if there's no alcohol in it? You know, Scotland yesterday have increased the minimum unit pricing of alcohol by 60% in some places.
Well, they need
Between
to, don't
30 to... It doesn't work, Isabel. It's another faux SNP.
It does for some people that are trying to give up alcohol, because I wanted to give up alcohol about 4 years ago, and I tried the no-alcohol wine, and it tasted disgusting.
Yeah, that is true. There's no good substitutes for alcohol.
But the low-alcohol beer, on a hot day, I used to
trick
drink
yourself.
Urginger, and there are obviously other beers out there, but that was my favourite, and I absolutely loved it. And when I fancied a beer, I'd actually prefer to have that, because I'd need quite a lot to get tipsy anyway, of beer, but I felt like I was drinking alcohol in a pub.
Is it lower calorie, the alcohol-free beer?
It is actually lower calorie. The wine is actually not that much lower calorie because of the sugar.
What's the point then?
But honestly, it made me give up alcohol for a few months when I was like working out a lot. So I think it can help for some people.
Yeah, and you could argue, Claire, it's good to get, your liver ready for the festive period.
Oh, come on. Life is just too short. We're here for such a small period of time. Why make yourself unhappy?
That's exactly what Eamonn said when he saw it this morning. Is here's a reason for you to be miserable.
I don't even drink.
I know you don't.
Yeah, but I just am fed up with this. If it's bad for us, ban it, right? If it's killing us, ban it. Don't
You'll
do
be
all
left
this
to eat
dancing.
nothing. You'll be left on a desert island in Madagascar then.
Heaven help us. But, there's always some sort of, why they don't come out and say custard creams are bad for you, cannot eat them.
I love them. They're one of my favourite
Have you tasted the custard creams covered in chocolate?
No.
Oh, they are really lovely from a very local supermarket just opposite the studios.
I would ban you from that straight away. That's terrible.
Not good for your heart. About your heart.
But there's a big range of zero alcohol drinks, are there not? So
yes.
You're not, you were saying that they can't do it with wine.
Yeah.
You're not a fan.
No, they do gin as well, don't they? Which I think is quite odd.
It's bitter. It's very... believe me, I've tried.
So have I.
I really have. I've tried. But there's nothing quite like that. Gosh, that's delicious.
Cheers to a sober October.
No, thank you.
Yeah, if you're doing it at home, let us know.
Paula, what do you think of this Strictly Come Dancing row? Again, it's front page of the papers again today. Both the dancer and the professional dancer and the celebrity have both come out of it, they think, as winners.
Well, it's interesting because I was actually speaking about this a couple of weeks ago, and I heard that the BBC were rumoured to be paying out up to £1 million. It looks like she's saying that she's feeling vindication. I think she's elated because she's got a payout. I'm sure she's had to sign non-disclosures. And it's not just her. I believe that Rachel Riley was looking for a payout. And I also, this is not fact, but I wouldn't be surprised if Zara got a payout, hence why she was all smiles sitting in the audience for the first show. I think part of the
Zara Thompson, of course, friend of boyfriend Pete Wicks, who's in the show. That's why she's there.
Sam Thompson's her boyfriend.
Yes.
Zara McDermott. Pete Wicks is best friends with Sam Thompson.
I think there would have been a stipulation in the contract saying she could have the payout as long as she turns up for the first show, because she's very, very popular on social media. And I think a few people have been paid out. She's very happy.
I haven't heard that before.
Here's something, Paula, that's really worthwhile. Scientists have developed a scanner, and this is handheld, that can diagnose cancer in seconds.
Yeah, this is amazing, and this could really change people's lives in this country. We have one of the worst detection rates in Western Europe. And this can be handheld. It can also help arthritis. And cancer clearly isn't a death sentence, as we all know, but it's so important to catch certain cancers early. And unfortunately, if you don't have private medical care, your risk of surviving some cancers drops significantly if you're going to the NHS. So this could change things. So very, very good news.
But the trouble is, we hear about all these incredible detection techniques. There's this magical blood test that will tell you your chances, but we can't get access to it via the NHS. And then there's this ultrasound. This is why these countries in Europe are doing so much better, because they all have access to this cutting-edge technology. Whereas we're funding the NHS, 50% of the government budget goes into the NHS, and we still don't have any of this stuff.
There was a doctor, actually, I saw in China that was removing a tumour from someone's lung just via computers.
Wow.
So it's amazing what can be done now.
Yeah, incredible.
Yeah.
Claire, in the halls of Westminster, if you're a former MP, you would imagine that's it. You can't get back in unless you've got appropriate security passes. But the Metro was reporting today that 2 former MPs who have been suspended from the Labour Party over sexual allegations still enjoy full access.
I think this is just absolutely incredulous. It's ridiculous. How can you, if you're suspended from your place of work, still gain entry, still have a security pass? To have a security pass, you still have to have quite high-level clearance, but they've still got access. They've still got access to all the bars. They've still got access to information. It's really ridiculous.
Just be asking the question, why?
Exactly, I don't know why. It's just said that 2 former MPs, Simon Danchuk and Ivan Lewis, are among 242 ex-members who have unescorted access to Westminster despite no longer being MPs. It's
it
just
gives them
horrific.
a lot of influence, in terms of lobbying and that sort of thing.
But they shouldn't have the access, should they? They're not elected members of Parliament. They're not there to give the value and give the opinion of their electorate. They're there to enjoy the free, cheap booze of the bars and also have its cronyism and its lobbyism as well.
No sober October there, that has to be said.